The measurement requirements for items can be determined after the most appropriate consumption calculation formula is selected on the Setup tab of the BOM line form. For BOM calculations, the values from the following fields are used in the consumption calculation formula: height, width, depth, density, and constant. Measurement conversion factors. Conversion factors are a mathematical calculation that represent the difference between standard item measurements and BOM component measurements. To calculate the consumption of raw materials, specifically conversion factors for the height, width, depth, and density, if these values are proportional to those that are specified. This can be done in the following ways: on the BOM line when the calculation is run, or in the production order when a cost estimate is run. Note that the measurement fields on the Setup tab of the BOM line form are conversion factors that are included in the measurement calculation together with the measurement dimensions of the finished item. Let's set up and calculate measurements in the system together. For this example, we'll open up the Release Products form found in the Common area of Product Information Management. Then I'm going to select a component that's included in a BOM and update its measurement. For this example, I'm going to use the standard speaker and then click Edit. Next, I'll go down to the Engineer Fast tab, and here I can specify a measurement. So for example, the measurement is set to 2. Next, I'm going to close this window and select the bill of material that I want to update the measurements for. In this case, we're going to use item number 1400 and then click the Engineer tab in the Action pane and then open the lines. Here on the lines, if we go over to the Setup tab, you'll be able to see the details. Here we've set the unit of measure to each and updated the formula to height times constant. We've also configured the consumption to be variable. Then on the right-hand side of the form, we've overridden the height to be 3 instead of 2. Based on our scenario, the production of one front speaker mount requires a height dimension of 3, but because the item D0003 has a standard height value of 2, we will enter that here, and then the conversion factor will be 1.5, which is 3 divided by 2. Once we're done making the changes to the BOM line forms, you'll want to make sure that they are approved and activated. You can see here that mine are. We'll close the form and then we'll go perform a calculation. This is done on the Manage Cost tab and then click Item Price in the Setup group. We'll go to the Pending Prices tab and create a calculation. Here, it's important that you select the correct costing version, and in this case, this item has a configuration, so you'll need to select the correct configuration. In this case, we were modifying the standard speaker, which is used with the standard configuration, and then I'll select the site. Next, I'll click OK to complete the calculation. You'll notice that a cost price doesn't exist for one of the items, so a warning message is received. I actually forgot to change the calculation to production, so we'll need to do it again, making sure this time to select production in the item procured using field. Now that I've selected production order and I click OK, a price is calculated. I'm still receiving warnings about certain components in this, which I would need to follow up on. Here you can see the price is calculated as $888.68. If we click the Complete button, we'll be able to view the details. Here you can see item number D003. The consumption is 5. This is because the system has multiplied 3 times 1.5 times 1, which equals 4.5, and this particular item is set to have a rounding of 1, so it's rounded it up to 5. Next, we'll close the form and I'll run another calculation, except this time I'll do it for a larger quantity. I'll select the same options, choosing production order in the item procured using field, and then I'll update the quantity. For this example, we'll do 50, and then click OK. I'm receiving the same warnings about certain items in my BOM calculation. You'll notice that the BOM calculation is now lower. If we click the Complete button, you'll be able to see the consumption that's been calculated. Here you can see the consumption is calculated as 225. This is because 3 times 1.5 times 50 equals 225. Now that we've taken a look at this, you may note that the results may vary depending on the sample data, even though the calculation method is the same. Be sure to join me in the module review where we'll take a look at what we've learned so far.